Okay, welcome to all those joining us right now. If you can all hear me well, we are going to get started with the class. My name is Josena. I'm Customer Success Manager at Customily, and together with Morena, we'll be hosting this presentation and showing you the basics of the app. You'll be able to ask questions along the way, and we'll be answering them on the chat or at the end of the presentation. If you're joining us for the first time, you'll probably wonder what is Customily? Well, Customily is an app that installs on your e-commerce store and provides your shoppers with live previews of personalizable products. With Customily, your shoppers will be able to interact with options by typing text, selecting fonts, colors, images, and even locations, as well as uploading their own pictures. Each interaction will show them live how the personalization will look on the finished product. And this will enhance the shopping experience and increase your conversion rate. For example, this is a personalized Christmas stocking product, and Customily will load these options so you can play around and type something like this. As you can see, the live preview is changing as you keep typing and you keep interacting with the options. You can add clip arts, for example, or actually not add any clip art. These are choices you can make using Customily at all points. The live preview will give you a realistic example of how the product will look with your particular customization. Now, the way this works is that Customily will load a template and an option set in the front end of your store for each product. Within the app, you will have many tools to create these templates and option sets. But that's not all. Apart from the live preview, Customily will take the personalization information from the orders you receive and create a printing file that's ready for you to take to whatever company or supplier you have to fulfill your products. So imagine how much time our tool is saving you if you think back to the way you used to offer personalized products, how you had to collect the shopper's data, create proofs, wait for feedback, make corrections, and much more. All that time and effort has been reduced and automated with Customily's live preview and production files to make your work faster and easier. And now that we know that Customily is a great tool for your online store and that it will help you optimize the shopping experience of your visitors, we can start learning about the app itself. It's important that you approach it with some clear concepts about your business. I highly recommend you ask yourself some questions before beginning. The first one is about the current status of your store. And the question would be, will I be creating new products, either for an empty new store or for a new collection in an existing store? Or will I be selling my existing products and turning them customizable? If you're working with existing products, you will use what we call Customily 1.0. With this, you will be creating templates from scratch and then linking them to your existing products, all from the app itself. The options that your shoppers will use will be created automatically, so you don't need to worry about having to code anything. This direct way of using Customily is available for all e-commerce platforms that we integrate with, and you can see them on the slide as well as any custom coded store. Now, if you will be creating new products, more questions will pop up. One question will be, am I doing my own fulfillment? For example, with my own workshop or a local company? Or am I fulfilling with a known print-on-demand supplier? And then, do I have my own designs that will be personalized, or will I be using pre-made designs from Customily? These two questions will be the entry point to use what we call called Customily 2.0. This is our latest update and will allow you to create new listings more easily, faster, and better. Now, this option is only available for Etsy and Shopify stores. So within Customily 2.0, you will have four ways of creating new products. If you're working with non-POD providers, you have two options. You can select a product from their catalog and then add an exclusive design that our illustration team has created for you. These are royalty-free designs and clip arts, and you can freely use them and manage. Or you can select a product from the POD catalog and use our design studio to create your own designs that can be personalizable. On the other hand, if you're going to fulfill on your own, you have two similar options. You can automate processes by creating product bases, which are the product mockups of what you want to sell, and will act the same way as the POD products. Then you can add a customized design to the product base. Or you can create your own custom design in the design studio to use over your product bases. Each time you combine a product base, whether it's from a POD catalog or your own, with a design, either from Customily's collection or your own, a new template is born from this combination of product base and design, and is linked to a new listing that Customily automatically creates in your store for you. In the case of POD products, the listing will be also connected to the POD using an API key, so each time there's a purchase, Customily can automatically send the print file for fulfillment, so more time-saving advantages. Well, so let's dive into the app and see how it works. And take a look at this. When you access Customily for the first time, pay attention and complete the onboarding you will get, as it will help you answer many questions stated before. Then you can see the different sections of the app, and based on your answers, you can easily navigate through them. Here we are in the Start section. This is the 2.0 main interface, where you can create new products, either using POD suppliers or your own product bases. You have you also have a quick view of your designs collection and your product base collection. If you check the left menu, you can see that these two collections have their own sections also. In the templates section, you'll be able to create new templates and also see all the templates created automatically with the 2.0 tools. This is the core section of the app, and you can rename, clone, delete, and edit any template. In the libraries section, you'll be able to upload your personal assets and organize them for quick access and use. You can create colors, fonts, vectors, and image libraries. And this is very important to remember because Customily is an asset manager, not an asset creator. Your images, designs, fonts, etc. will be created or purchased outside of the app. For example, you can create images in Canva, download them in JPG or PNG files, and then organize them in Customily's libraries for later use in templates and designs. The store section is where you can see all your store products and check whether they are or not linked to Customily. When you have a product linked to Customily or you want to link that, you can see and select which templates and option sets are linked or can be linked to any product. You can manage those products as well as a lot of custom settings that will optimize the user experience of the front end of your store. Finally, the orders section is a beta feature that we are still developing. So you will later have a backup of every orders that are purchased using Customily with backup information of print files, previews, and all the data that your customers selected or input in text fields or uploaded as images. You will also have all this order information on each e-commerce order dashboard because Customily will always send you the information to your order line item properties. Now that we have a more clear idea of how to navigate over the app, we're going to create a product together. Before I jump into creating stuff, I would like to know if we have some questions about what Customily is all about. Oh, we have a question. How easy is to upload fonts or buy cliparts and upload on Customily and set this up? Are there videos to help? Yes, actually, our last live session was about how we can put together our assets on our computer and then just bulk upload everything to Customily. We may do something like that now so you can see. Fonts are also something you can upload to Customily, and any TTF or OTF font format will work perfectly with Customily. So let's start by checking out what are we going to be creating today. We want to create this personalized Christmas stocking. Now, particularly, let's say we don't have any print-on-demand provider who can give us this product and this printing capability. So we have found a way of printing this ourselves. Now, we could actually set up a product in our store and we could create a template with the information of that product and just link it to make it customizable. But what if we later want to sell the same stocking, but with a lot of different designs? Because this is a name below and clip art on the top design. What if we later want a just name on the top, or just clip art on the bottom, or all names or repeated names? If we have multiple designs, one thing we can do is create and keep a product base. And later we can simply create new designs and keep combining those designs with the same product base. So the product base is always the same. It's the same product we are customizing, but we are creating different listings depending on which designs we want to offer. Why? Well, maybe because some designs will be more complex, some others will have other inks, some others will cost more. That's entirely up to you and the scope and shape of your business. But if you want to have a basic product that you will later offer in multiple ways, the way to go is to create a product base. And for that, we are going to jump into Customily. And in the start section, we can see that there are some shortcuts here to creating product bases and designs. Our idea is to create a product base. This stocking product we have has a certain pieces of information that we need. The first thing we need about any product we're going to be personalizing is what is the print area? What's the size and position of the print area of this particular product? Will I be printing on this part of the fingers, on the part of the ankle? That's entirely up to you and your product itself. But if we know, for example, that this print area we see here has a, 20 by 45 centimeters, we can set up that print area and also later position this on the preview, because each product base has two pieces of information, has the print information and the mockup information. So if we want to create a new product base, we need to know what's the size of the print area, which file format our machine will support, and then we need mockups of this particular product, empty mockups without customization. Let's create a new product together. Let's create new product base, And we are jumped into part of our design studio. We're going to call this the live session stocking base, right? And we know this is the print area information, and we know because we are going to be fulfilling this product that we have a 200 by 450 print area. So let's create that page. At this point, we are not interested in any design because designs will come later, but we know that whatever design we put together will have this proportion as print area. This is the maximum print area, and this is where it's going to contain any future designs. Very important, right now we are on the part of the product base that sets up the production file settings. This is the first step of two. We set up the size of the print area, and we also set up the export format. Customily can export on many formats, from vector files to image files, and even embroidery. And for this particular case, we're going to just pick PNG. And when you pick PNG, you can type in the resolution you want exported. When you pick vector formats, you will pick the color mode, because this is very important depending on the type of printing, type of ink and process. In the case of images, you can control the resolution. That's all you need to put together in the first step of any product base. You can now click next and jump to the second stage. The second stage is the preview settings. And basically, we can see the print area, which is this, and this is now in pixels. Why? Because this is the part that shows to the customer on the front end. Not what gets printed, but actually what gets shown to the customer. So what do we need here? We need a nice mock-up of the product. And that's why we have these tools available. We have a very simple tool that is to add product images, and we can add just one image, or if we have free colors of stockings, we can actually have the free images, and Customily can understand those are color variants, for example. So I'm going to pick just this one, which is a simple image of my product without any personalization, and a nice background, a nice context, because in the end, this is an eye catcher for your customers. Once we have this product image, we can add a mask, which will allow us to shape the printing to the shape of the of the product, or add some textures. Masks are usually files, graphic files, meant to give an extra realism to the preview. But in this case, because our printing is not all over, or doesn't have a particular shape, we're going to be printing on a specific area. What we can do is take our maximum print area and position this exactly where it's going to be when we do the fulfillment. Right? So the machine will print this area in two pieces, one or whatever you set up. But in the end, this is the printable area of your product. And you position this print area, so whenever we pick any design, it will go to this print area. It's going to show on the print part, and it's going to preview here as well for customization purposes. That's all you need to put up with any product base. And when you click next, you can always go complex. And I invite you to check out and to request ideas and examples, or to ask us if you're going the right way. Always explore what's on Customily for you to add more and more each time. But if you need just a nice mockup and the design to be displayed on top, that's all you need to do. And when you click next, you are going to be saving this product base with a particular final revision. This step 3, this revision, will show you why Customily is so powerful, because whatever happens here on the preview from your customers will reflect on the print exact size. It doesn't matter if this is a pixel preview on a website. The information that will be customized here and previewed will go straight to a 200 by 450 print area that will export in a PNG format. That's the concept that we need to pay attention to in Customily. So let's save this. And if we have some variants, Customily will detect them and you can name the variants and you can name the values. Right now, we don't have any other variants, so we can save the product like that. We have a new product base and we are ready to jump back to the start. One thing we can do now is we can grab our product base and we can just create a new product. Imagine you just began and you just created this product base. You can click on create new product, and if you're not going to be using any of the print on demand providers we have, you can just pick your own products. Your own product bases are these basic elements that you can put any design. So imagine if you have pillows and cutting and announcement signs and frames or candles, whatever you design later can be placed here and create a unique product with that particular design on that specific product. That's the advantage of having product bases. And if I look for the stocking, this live session stocking, if I have color variants, for example, or size, those will show up here and they will be created when you created the product base. Once you're happy with the variants, if you have any, you can pick next here and pick one design. You just began with Customily and you don't have anything in your collection. You can still create products because we have the Customily designs. And if you click here, you will see over 260 designs that are ready to use. I could actually put any of these designs on my stocking. I don't know how it's going to look, but you can. And that's the important thing, because if you're your own fulfillment or you have the ability to build, I don't know, mouse pads in any case, you can just create your product base of mousepad, basic mousepad, and then start adding Customily designs as simple as that, because they are royalty free, they are here for you. And once you create any of these designs, all the clip arts will be in your user, and you can freely use these characters, dogs, cats, or whatever, into any other designs you will create later. I'm not going to use any of these designs. I'm going back to the start because what I want is to create my own design. So I'm going to pick here to create a new design. Remember, these designs will not only be available for the stocking, will be available for the blanket, for the cookie, for whatever product bases I have, the pillow, anything. My designs will be there just for me to keep using on any product. So depending on my design, I will have more or less freedom of use. The reason for that, when I click on create new design, is the proportion. Let me just name this as live session stocking design 1. This is my first design for stocking. I create a design and I am now in the design studio of Customily. I start off with a standard white square canvas, and I can just start creating elements and putting up my designs. The thing about this is, if you know for a fact that your print area is not a square, what will happen is Customily will try to fit this square design on the rectangle area of your particular product. So it will try to center and fit, but never stretch or deform. So in this case, in the case of our stocking, what will happen is that our square design will be in the middle, and then on top and bottom, we are going to have empty space. So I recommend that if you're working with extreme proportions and not close to square proportions, that you resize by clicking on this button your canvas here, which is a guidance for you to put together your design, and you can see better the exact dimensions of what you should be constraining to. So I'm going to click resize, and we know this is 200 by 450. This will help me set up my my design better. How am I going to be putting up my design? I have all these tools available. The first tools I'm going to be checking are text boxes. This will allow customers to input their own text, change fonts, change colors, and the same goes with curved, of course. That depends entirely on your design. You can control the size, the maximum and minimum size of any text, and make sure customers will not keep typing until everything is so small it's impossible to read. Other tools you will find are placeholders, and placeholders for images or vectors are objects that will allow your customers to upload their own images. Imagine any product that is that is customizable with your own picture. Well, you can just grab your cell phone, grab your computer, upload from your drive, and put them on these placeholders. Other customization tools we offer are street maps and star maps. We have some amazing live sessions about how to use the best um, of these. It's going to be it's really amazing that you check them out. Finally, we have dynamic elements. These dynamic elements are very important because they are objects that you can fill with a lot of clipboards. You see, they have four small icons that indicates you that you can put a lot of information into them. So if I were to pick a dynamic image, I can put I can upload my own artwork in here. If I have, for example, a background, I will just upload one image. But if I have 20 clip art that I want to offer, like the case of these clip arts, I can just grab them all together and upload them right here inside this single option. One thing image placeholders can, dynamic images can do is just sit there, and if I click here, I can fit to canvas. They can just be a frame for the entire rest of the design. This is very important because we are actually working on a particular shape, and we want our customizable elements um, to always be between this area. So even if they are smaller, Customily will not care about the canvas, it will care about the options. So when we are working with this sort of designs, I recommend we keep this an empty dynamic image that we're going to call this the uh, frame object. Now this will be empty and will not affect anything at all. We're going to lock it, just keep it there so we can have a limit here in the blue box. What do we want to put in our customization? We want to put a name. So we start by doing a text box. And the text box will be created proportional to the print area. But you see, I can just resize this any way I want. Not only that, I can rotate this any way I want. And if I go to this type to try the text box, I can just type something like this. I always recommend trying with a very long name, something that uh, something that will challenge what your customers will be working on. This is just for testing, but if you test with Bob, maybe you are missing the fact that someone typing Catherine will be missing letters, for example, or something like that. So try with a long name. And also you can click here, you have 4 tabs with a lot of information you can customize. When you click on transform, you have full control of the coordinates and size of the box. In this case, I'm going to make sure we have this perfectly rotated, and I'm going to make this bigger. How big am I going to make this? Well, let's say I know for a fact that my print area has the white space of the stocking will be around here and the red will be around here. So maybe my object will be close to the edge, close to the half, and not more. And I can make it really big because I want customers to be able to type with big letters, right? I have some alignment tools here that I can play with, so I can center this, for example, and that's it. Now, this is looking pretty small, so I can open, this is the transform, but if I open the character, just, oops, yeah. If I open the character, I can start adding fonts with this button to my database with is all this drop down full of fonts. I can pick from my font library if I have created fonts, and I can just browse this and pick any font like this one. It's still pretty small, so I'm pretty sure I have space on this box. So I'm going to make sure that my maximum size is larger. Yeah, I can just type in, no, 500. Yeah, actually 500 is not going to be, it's going to be 275. So 276 could be my maximum size. I know I'm not going to be that big. But what if I keep typing? If I go and keep typing Catherines and Catherines and Catherines, what will happen is Customily will find the end of the box and will try to shrink and fit all your characters. But how small can it go? It can go to your minimum size. And if your minimum size is too small, and you can preview how small it's going to be by holding the mouse here, that's too small. So definitely 15 is not a possibility. Maybe 150 is a possibility. And you see how now we have a small number of characters allowed. Still, the maximum size will be whatever the box let us do. But I can go up to this small if I want. If I don't, I can just put 200 and hold to see. Yeah, that's more like it. So that's going to be my text. And very important, when I type something like Mary, you see I'm dropping from the center because there's a horizontal alignment here. I actually want this to start from the right because this is the edge of the stocking and it's going to look nicer on my design. We're going to rename this layer to type your name. Yeah, type your name. What's the second thing we are going to be needing to customize? If we check our example has a text and has a clipart selection. Our clipart selection can be directly uploaded to Customily or created a library. We're going to be covering libraries on the next live session on Thursday, so I'm just going to upload things directly here. The way to upload images, remember, is a dynamic image. This will allow us to upload whatever image we want. We can reshape this and keep it like in this area of the print part and the design, center this and like that. So if I want to upload my images, I can just start uploading for the first position and then second, third, and stuff. If I pick them all together like this, I will upload them all. What if I want actually the chance for no clipart? Remember, in our example, there's a no clipart that is actually not showing anything. The trick here is to actually keep the first option empty. So there's a no chance for clipart, and the rest will be the rest. So 1 will be empty, and 2 will have the candle, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. How do we do that? Instead of starting uploading from the position 1 or the option 1 of image, I will click here and go to do. With the 2 selected, I can start uploading, and whatever I upload will begin on this position, leaving the first position empty. That's how you can select no clipart, for example, on any particular collection. So I'm going to click upload images and I'm going to pick bulk everything here and open. Yeah, it's going to put everything in there. And you can start browsing because you are always free to preview whatever you want and see that option 9 has this Christmas tree ornament. This has the stocking, then the reindeer, star, snowman, gift, bear, and candles, and 1 is empty. And the last one, which is number 10, is the Santa hat. Because you have multiple images inside this object, Customily will understand that you have choices. If you upload one image, you don't have a choice, you just have that image. But if you upload more than two, then you have choices. Two or more, you have choices. And Customily will make sure that you can pick those choices later. Let me see if we can make it bigger. Oh, apparently, if we type very small number of characters, we can go even bigger. Let's see how big can we go. 399, yeah, 400. Yeah, so this is the biggest we can type. And of course, it's going to start to shrink as long as we keep going smaller. But not that small, just 200. Now, one thing you probably saw, and sorry if you don't, is this is white, correct? Why? Because our stocking is black. Is red. And if we want to make the white look nicer, we may drop a shadow. There's a trick for that, and the trick is we can grab this text element and we can clone it. When we do a duplicate, we create a replica, an exact replica, because they have the same ID. And I type this, and they both change at the same time. So to my advantage, what I can do is I can call this the shadow. I can put it down, and this type your name, we can change the color to, let's start with something easier like red, but we're not going to be printing red because the stocking is red. But you see how now, because we have two different texts that have the same behavior, we can actually fake some sort of a drop shadow. Yeah, and try again. They behave the same. Apparently they don't, but there's a trick here. Is this character is actually not properly centered to the right, and now they are exactly the same. Okay, now that we have this super effect, we are going to do something. We're going to keep our type your name, and we are going to change the color to white. I didn't change it before, basically because I kind of lost that on the background, but that's okay. And this is all we need for our design. We have a clear idea of the type of shape that we need for our future designs in the stocking. We are just going to change this to add clip art. And because I always change this because this texting will be reflected on these labels later. So that's why I keep it like that. And now I'm ready to save my design. Remember, this design can go into anything from a stocking to a tote bag or whatever. It's up to you, and of course, the proportions of the print area. We are now in the My Design collection, and if you check the last page, you will find this new design. Very interesting. We can edit the options. Remember, I told you Customily will create the options for you automatically. You don't have to worry about anything. If I click on the edit options, I will see that Customily has created, I can preview this, has made these options. It has made a shadow text, which we don't want because shadow is the exact replica of type your name. We can either click to delete, just click on the trash and go. Basically, we have a type your name and add a clip art. And the swatches have been already created. Now, what am I missing here? I'm missing the option number 1. If I click on the pencil here, I will open the settings I can put up with this. I can change the label, I can change whatever. And here I have the image 2, 3, right, 4, 5, this. But this is the position number 10. Remember, this is the last one. And the first one, which is the candle, is actually the image number 2. So what happens to the image number 1? Image number 1, we need to manually create it because you can always create stuff manually. Yeah. And you can keep it on the end or actually push it all the way up to the first one on the queue. And this one will be no clipart. We make sure that the image we want to show is the first one, which basically is empty. And we don't want this to be without any information. So we have the chance to create and upload our own nice thumbnail. For example, this one, like that. So this is how you can even personalize the user experience to be clear on what you need to type and clear about what you can do or not with your cliparts. Once you have this all set up, I recommend you save it. And it's important to review the options before starting creating products because it's going to save you some time later. If we recall back to the beginning, for a new product in our store, we need 2 things. A product base from either these PODs or our own, and a design either from our collection or the Customily collection. In this case, we have our own product base and we have our own design. So we can click here to use a product base for a new product, find the stocking live session, check if we have some variants, click next, and now we can pick from our designs and we can find our particular design here and click to start working. What's happening now, Customily is putting up a new listing on my store. Remember, these tools are for Etsy and Shopify stores. So this could happen for both an Etsy or a Shopify. And if you actually have both subscriptions under the same Customily user, you can do this operation for a new listing on Shopify and also a new listing on Etsy. They will behave exactly the same way. They will customize the same thing, and they will show exactly what you want. This spinning is a brand new template created from the combination of my design and my product base. And I can type something right, like this, Robert, and see how it live previews like that. And Robert is a snowman, so that's pretty much. And if I click no, I will stop this from showing. Just like that. And the live preview is not only changing, but I can actually save it. Instead of having an empty stocking, I can save this to have a customized stocking as my main listing photo. So there's nothing else I need to do if I want to actually publish this and start selling. I may want to do something else before actually publishing this or saving as a draft on Shopify. I want to edit the product details just because I have the chance here and change this to live session stocking name plus clipart. Yeah, I don't know. And charge this 39, for example. Change the description, and that's it. If you want to do this on Shopify or Etsy later, you can do it. This is just a quick shortcut inside Customily. And now that we have everything working here, we are ready to publish. But we have a question. Let's see if it's about this. What if I have a product with prints on both sides like a mug? Can I have customized designs on both sides? Yes, mugs in particular are actually one unique print file that is very long and horizontal because it's a wraparound. But if you wanted to print in multiple sides of any product, you can always come up with a nice preview to show both sides of any product, and you can set up your printing to have all the information from front and back, for example. You can rearrange previews to show things on pieces, but yet print all together. Yeah. In the case of mugs in particular, it's only one print area that wraps around. That's very interesting. Let's publish this and see if we can create a mug really fast. Now we have a new product in our store, has this listing photo, yeah, but it has the Customily option. So I can type anything and preview that right away with no problem. Change whatever I want. And I just made a customized stocking without any problems. And tomorrow I can create a new design and use the same stocking to create a brand new design. In fact, it will be amazing that you replicate this on the live session video on YouTube and then start creating more stocking ideas and stock up your store with stocking. Let me check if I have another question. If not, I may show you the mug really fast. Okay, let's quickly check out what happens if I want to create a mug. Mugs have a particular way, and I can pick any. Let's say if I pick this printed mug provider, Printify, find a mug. Mugs, well, I have a lot. Let's go with the basic mug. Yeah. And this is my print provider, this is my size, this is my print area, and I can click next and find a design. If I were to pick a Customily design, what will happen is I have a lot of mag filtered designs. Why? Because if you pick a square design, it will be the same concept as we just did with the vertical design. It's going to be centered and it's not going to show nice on the preview. If I filter by mug, I will find all these options, and you see how the options are rectangular long with one clipart on one side and another clipart on the other. So whenever they wrap around, they look on the sides of the mug. Let me see if I can create, yeah, we're close to Halloween, so that's my way to go. We're going to wait for Customily to create this in like less than 2 minutes, and you will see how the final preview of the mug shows. One thing you should know about Customily, and I mentioned this before, is if you later want to check how the templates were created, you just come here and you check the templates. Most mugs will show up with a preview that has both sides. This is how you can show any product printing front and back, because your preview will is independent from whatever you're printing. You're printing this on a long wrapping around, but you can show this differently. I'm going to pick one dog. I'm going to call this this dog and get it there. Yeah, this is a custom design. This is really nice, and pretty much all I have to do is publish this and go straight to the front end. Now, if you want to see how this was created, I can go here to the template. This is my full collection of templates. And if I check the last modified or go to the last page, I can find the ones I just created. For example, the live session stocking base. This was created automatically by Customily, or I can always click and create a brand new template myself. And this mug 11 ounce of the creepy wolf is the last one, and I can click here to edit. I mean, you don't have to save anything. You can just explore how this works. See, the print area is 22 by 9.5 centimeters. It's pretty long and straight and wraps around the mug. I have this this guide that will show me the axis of the different sides of the mug, and then I have the title, and then I have the for example, the group of one dog, the group of two dogs, and three dogs. If I open the group of one dog, I can check the name of the dog, and then I can click and check out the dog breed. In this case, we have libraries connected, but basically You see the first dog is this one, the third dog is this, the number 30 is this one, and the number no 88 is another one, like that. So there's a lot of images inside this option. The cauldron actually activates whenever you start, you pick the right dog, the number of dogs, and then you type something like this. Yeah, I'm just previewing stuff. Yeah, but this is how the design is all set up. Now, the great thing is you are going to be printing this as a single file, but if you click next on the preview, you can arrange this to show on different parts. The trick is that you have, remember we have a product image as we did with the stocking, but also we have a mask. And the mask is basically the same image of the product, but with the trick of being transparent in the part that will be printed. That way, we can create the effect of a double-sided mug. Right? I can hide this, and the only thing that will happen when hiding is just any edges may be just on the very edge. For example, let's see if I can activate the cauldron. Yes, right. So maybe the cauldron has a particular effect. The mask will make sure to make it realistic and cut it off there because it's transparent. That's how you can put up, or how automatic products can have the effect of printing on both sides. Question: how do you know what option to use, like PNG or PDF, etc.? That's entirely up to the fulfillment machine. Some machines will work better with PDF. That's a vector file because they need a precision printing or a precision color. Sometimes you need, I don't know, phone cases may use PDFs, but t-shirts will use PNGs. It's entirely up to the fulfillment specifications. Customily allows you to customize that any way you need. Is the print area size found in the POD product page? Yes. Pretty much all PODs will give you the exact dimensions of the print area. So if you know what you're going to be selling, it's nice that you research that so your designs will match those proportions and you won't have any surprises. I highly recommend you do that research before going into Customily, because like we said, you can design anything you want, and Customily will always try to preserve your design and put it somehow in that print area. But if it's not perfect, you will have empty sides or empty areas, and it's just actually resizing the canvas to put together a design that will match your product. How do you know which is better to use for color, CMYK or the other one, RGB? Well, that's again entirely up to the system. Depends on the type of inks. Some digital printers, toner printers will read everything in CMYK. Some sublimation machines will read on RGB. So we do the conversion based on the standard system. So yeah, sometimes watching something RGB on a screen may not print exactly on CMYK, but the conversion is done precisely. So it depends on your printing requirements. Do we add two font options the same way we add image options? Yes and no. And we can do this here. When you upload fonts, and let me pick this. Yeah, let me open the color. I need to see, yeah. When you have a text and you open character, when you upload fonts, right now, you can upload one by one, and they will be stored in your database, meaning that you can access any one of these, but you cannot upload them in bulk to create like a collection, because the idea is you go to libraries, and from your database, you pick those fonts you want to add to your particular library, right? So fonts are stored different than images. You have a database of fonts available across your username, and you just pick them as you want. If you want to select multiple fonts here, right now this is the brochure font. If I click on option 2, I can change this to any other font and it will be saved to the option number 2. Now I have two choices. One is the brochure, 2 is the school book, and number 3 will be Comic Sans. And now I have 3 fonts here ready to go and change. Whenever Customily detects that you have more than one option for fonts, it will create the swatches and the choices for those fonts. Can you show us how to add our personal mockup image instead of using the one provided? Okay, yes. We created a stocking. Yeah, let me jump back to templates. Great. So if we check the last modifier, if I go to this stocking base, I can click edit and jump to the template. Very important. If we actually need to add, because there's a question about how to add cropping marks, outlines that are needed for the production file, but not the preview. You can do that, and the best way to do that is by adding dynamic vectors. Why? Because cutting marks usually are vector based because they always print without any discrepancy, error, or detail. So they are exact fits. And basically, it's an EPS file that you have, and you can upload that inside Customily. Just let me see if I can retrieve an example we had. Let me do that without with an image instead of this. So dynamic image, and let me open this layout. Yeah. Imagine you have this cutting setting, right? You see, so this will be like your cutting outline or information. This, if this is a vector or an image, it's up to you. You can drag this all the way down. These layers can be dragged down there and lock it, for example, so they will stick with that. Your design elements will be like that. And when you click next, one thing, I mean, this will print with the cut guide here. This will print with this information here because you need that. So you uploaded that with a dynamic image or vector because it's your own clipart. On the next stage of the preview, because you don't need this frame of this cut guide, you just hide it, just like that. Even drop it like that. Yeah, let's just drop it all the way down, lock it, and stop that. And this also will go to down, and that's it. The only thing left is the product image and the shadow, the name, and the clipart. The product image is basically what you have as your mockup. And if you want to change this, remember this object is a dynamic image. So you can modify this and upload another image without any problem. Just click here, find the image you want, like this. And if you, of course, change this, you may want to grab your information and shape it up so it's going to be exactly what you want print. Remember that whatever you modify on the preview will not affect the print in any way, like that. And now I click next to save my template. This template that I am actually editing is basically this same file. So I'm just going to save it. Yeah, and you see this final revision will give you a great idea of what's going on. Basically, you will print with the guidance. Then you will, of course, modify whatever you want. The customer will modify whatever they want. Whatever you see on the front end will replicate for printing, and whatever you type will also replicate here for printing. The only difference is here we are in full control of the preview, and here we are in full control of the print. We added information on one side and the other to make things work perfectly. We are working with an existing template that Customily created for us, and you can always change that as well as building this on your own. But if you change it, don't worry because you save it and you don't have to repeat any process or whatever. All you need to do is just refresh your product and you will see the changes. Let's refresh. Obviously, the listing photo will not change. Yeah. But the template, this is the listing photo. The moment I click one of these customizations, the template will load and I will see the real thing like this. And of course, I am printing exactly how you saw with the cutting marks. I'm looking for another question. Do I need to make all my edits to the template before uploading to my store, or can I make edits later? For example, add more fonts to designs options later. Yes, you can have your product live as I have right now. And one thing that can happen is if you have libraries and libraries, colors, fonts, vectors, or images are connected to this option set, whatever changes you make on the library later will automatically reflect on the front end. Right now, these images were loaded manually, so I don't have a library that I can just make a change and make it. But having libraries is the best way to go because whatever you update on the library will reflect on every single product using that library. So imagine if you add a new font to the library, that's going to reflect on 20 products. It's going to save you a lot of time on editing and changing, and you will lose track of that. So adding new images, adding new fonts, modifying existing images or fonts is the best way to go with libraries because any update to the library will be reflected on all products using that library. When you save it, where does it save to? Referring to the mockup you changed. Everything is on the template, right? Basically, if I go to templates and I find the last one, is this. This, you see, this template now has a new mockup, has a new printing area, has everything put together. Changes are made, graphic changes are made on the template. Option changes are made on the option set. And you can change that also because you can go to the store section, remember? This is where you manage all your products, right? You can see to link products or go to products here. These are all my store products. And I can see that I have some not linked. And I also have some linked. And linked, of course, are the most. And if I find these stockings, like this is the live session stocking name. Whenever I find a product and there's a check that is linked to Customily, I can click here and see how it is linked. It has this template that I can click here to open and has these options that I can click here to open. It will open another tab and I can modify the options. And those options will be reflected right here. So you can modify anything about the user experience. You can modify the template if you don't like the mockup provided by a POD, for example, or you later decide to change your own mockups because you acquire new images, you have better photography or whatever. And the options also, if you find that people are not getting are getting upset because they keep typing and at some point they cannot see more words. Okay, you know what? You're right. This is confusing. So let me go to the options and in the text input, I will put a maximum number of characters of 16. Save it, and that's it. You don't have to think about it. You just have 16 characters and you need to handle that, right? Like that. And now I know that if I keep typing, I will start to consume my 16 characters later. You can modify stuff along the way, even if the product is live. Just make sure that whatever you change on the template is pretty fast, or maybe you need to make a copy, change stuff on the copy, and then reconnect, because if changes will take some time because you're building stuff, you don't want that to be affecting your front end. But you don't need to make a product draft just to make changes to Customily. You see, changes apply automatically between one purchase and another. You can make changes at any point. Let's see other questions. Since you can save them, is there a way since you can save them as templates, that would give me more than one mockup, correct? Um, well, I don't know exactly what you mean by one more than one mockup. Actually, the customization preview happens on one single point of view and angle that you select. Nothing stops you from having a full gallery of different examples, point of view, different mockups, or whatever. But the live customization will happen on one image, because the idea is to, I mean, you don't need that customization to show on different uh, pictures or fireplaces. You may want to see the product on many different lifestyles and angles, but in the end, the customization part will show on a very neat front image, which is the way to see stuff clear. So every single template has a unique point of view that you can control and create, but the customization will happen on one single angle and view. The rest is all images you can put on your listing to provide more information about the product. Sometimes people want to add close images of the edge, of the fabric, of the stitches, um, different colors or whatever. But when it's time to customize, when it's time to type whatever you need, you are going to be seeing this from Customily. If you want to add your mockups to your Etsy, yes, you can. I mean, basically, what you can do is like this. Of course, you can use Customily on Etsy, but sometimes people may want to have the customization live on their Shopify stores or any other e-commerce platform store, and Etsy will be like a showcase of those products. Sometimes even a connection to actually purchase on the regular store. So if you want to showcase this on Etsy, what you can do is just click on the preview button and see this big, right click and save this as a listing. Listing Etsy one. Yeah, and because you want them to see other options that you have available, you're going to click this, you're going to call this for uh, and you're going to preview this and save this as listing Etsy2, right? So there's infinite number of options that you can pick images from and populate your Etsy listings if you're not going to be using Customily on those listings. And even if you are going to be using Customily on those listings, populating the gallery is a really great strategy to show the available designs, the possibilities when you have one, two, three kids and stuff, or dogs or whatever. Having those options available, not staying with just one image of the product, but actually a full gallery of really great images and possible options for customization. It's just a matter of how you want to communicate the possibilities of this customization. And well, you can quickly do that using the preview button in your main product. Well, I really hope now we have things a bit more clear about how Customily works and how you can use these uh, lessons to practice on your own. Please remember that we have an excellent support team available to help you during your first steps and assist you with anything you need. If you also need further help, don't hesitate to reach them via email or you can open a live chat in the app during business hours. Also, you can join our Facebook communities where you can ask questions and share tips with other users of the app. And well, that's all for today. I hope you had a great time. I hope this helps you out. Stay tuned for more live sessions. Um, Check out our YouTube channel with previous live sessions, and this today's live session will be uploaded shortly. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day.